Oh, and welcome to another Tuesday night show. We're trying something different tonight. You've just got me to start with. Everyone's sitting in the background. We'll see how this goes. This is the Talking Parra Tuesday live show. Hopefully you can see us. I can't see any comments going through. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll work it out as we get to it. It is the Tuesday night Talking Parra live show. I said thank you to our sponsors first of all, Riverside Brewing Co. Time for a Chat, ZMS Trophies, Tony Mustafa, Mortgage Choice, Tate Sports Card, Nonstop Landscapes, BMA Trucking, Bay Vista, Spot On Hose and Fittings, Eurowork, JD Buyers Agents, X Advisory, and as I said, Parra Leagues. Well, we got there. I got through it all. Let's get to the next part now, and that is this. Hello, Jeremy. How you going? Now, ignore that rubbish logo he does have, just FYI. It is absolutely terrible. Now, what we've done, we've decided to bring in a producer because it's gotten way too much. It's been way too hard just to do it by myself, trying to obviously operate and talk and host the show. So welcome, Jez. Glad to have you here. Now, I know there's something you want to do, and I don't even know if you can see this. I know you're sitting backstage, so you can. Now, we introduced you to the chat, and someone threw a bit of shade at you. Do you want to say anything about that?
Oh, look, I was warmly welcomed to the Parramatta Talking Parra podcast, of course. A whole bunch of Parramatta supporters in this great thing that you've curated here, and I'm happy to work in the background. But when I was introduced to the group, someone was quite rude, and it was a bit uncalled for because we have some evidence here that just isn't going to work in their favour. Should we bring it up now?
Yeah, bring it up. I think we should.
So This is the person that decided to throw shade my way straight away. But it's good to know that he has a real jersey in his closet. And as I said to Adam, it's good to see that he's got the back end of Andrew Johns' career with the Coal and Allied. So it's nice to see there's a rat amongst the pigeons, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, look, we got through it. That's the intro. That's the start. Now we'll piss Jess off to the background. See, Jez, nice having you.
Hi.
Jez is going to do God's work. And we've got everyone else. Besides Longy. Longy's running 2 minutes late, so he'll be in eventually. I just want to highlight, Jeremy.
Quality.
I can't see the comments. Can you see the comments coming through from people? No, I don't know what's going on. Facebook is being a bit weird tonight, guys. So keep your comments coming. It's going to be very difficult. I don't know what's happened, but I've got this error pop up. It says we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook since it's possible stream was ended or deleted on Facebook. But you can all see it. I can see your comments coming through on my phone. I just don't know what's going on, obviously, there. We'll try our best to make it work. So, all right, Jace, how you traveling, mate?
Yeah, feeling good. We're off the bottom of the ladder. Yeah, boys. Good stuff on the weekend. Good effort. The effort was there. Loved it.
Yes, BA.
Yeah, the effort was there. Hayden, how you traveling?
Yeah, I'm going good. I'm hopeful that the Mighty Knights can get this win this week against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. No, it's, coming off the bye week, big rest, bit different team list. So, yeah, looking forward to talking all things Parra tonight.
Yeah, that's right. You would be a Knights fan. Longy, welcome, mate. Better late than never.
Yeah, look, I start 5 minutes late. Like some teams in the NRL, but happy to be here. Just ran over time with another potty. Talk a lot of fantasy, and Tuesdays are a big night for us.
Yeah, I got that. I know what your priorities are, mate. It's all right. Don't worry about us. Troy?
Oh, no, we won a game, so I'm back. I'm keen again.
He's keen. Yeah, won a game, had a bye. We're undefeated in 2 weeks. It's perfect. How good is that? Troy, drunk much, sung much this week? What's doing?
No, I had a pretty quiet weekend, to tell you the truth. Watched all the games on the weekend, but just great having the Panthers below us on the ladder coming last. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, you'd love that, wouldn't you? Being out there in Penrith's way. Jack, what's doing with behind you? First of all, let's touch on it. People can see the bottom of his chin.
It's just it was the man looking over me. They're a bit disappointed in them now, but if we just pan up, it's my good friend Dylan. Well, he was my good friend. I'd call it Saint Dylan. He's more of an acquaintance now after his actions, but might have to have a bit of a chat to him over the weekend and see if he can get himself back in my good books. But he's watching over me for the moment. But I think that may need to be upgraded to a Mitch Moses one at the moment. It's in the works.
What's he got to do to get back in your good books, as you would say?
I don't know. When he's playing Newcastle, just throw the game so Parramatta keep winning. I can live with. I could work with that.
Fair. Michael, welcome. Why do you need a bean for? What do you got against footy? You're not going to be this mopey like you were last year when you hated footy, are you?
No, I'm not hating footy. We haven't had a show since October, and I'm getting antsy. So, yeah, that's why I need one. It's good fun, especially when there's footy to watch while I'm on tour. That's even better.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Well, moving on from that, and we do have a bit of an agenda tonight. Like I said, we're trying some different stuff. Obviously, there wasn't much of a game to review at NRL level, and we know Troy certainly didn't watch any of the junior games across the weekend, but me and Jack did. So.
No, some of us had to work, Adam. Unfortunately, keep the country going. So yeah, I apologise for not watching the junior games. Sorry, but you did keep me updated with your updates, so thank you for that.
Yeah, okay, you updated with your updates. Thank you. Yeah, wonderful, Troy. You're on fire as usual. You're absolutely on fire. I just love Tuesday nights with Troy Warner. I was really unmotivated to come on tonight because I'm actually binge watching You at the moment, season 5. And
I'm not going to spoil, but
yeah, if you spoil it, it'll be removed permanently. I've got 2.5 episodes to go, and I was on a roll. I think me and Beck watched 3 episodes last night. I was like, we're going to watch You tonight. Then I realized I had a podcast. So, it was like a chore, and I was like, 2.5 episodes. I really want to get through it. I don't think she'll be keen at 9 o'clock when we finish. But anyway, look, obviously huge news across Instagram. We finally reached 2,000 Instagram followers. So massive achievement there. Sitting at 6,200 on Facebook, Instagram. It's just hard. It's hard to get it up. Once again, guys, cannot see comments, but keep your comments coming. I'll have a good chuckle when I read through them later. 2,000 Instagram followers, massive. Just what I do want to say is if you follow us on Facebook, which you probably do if you're watching now, head across, follow us on Instagram as well when you get the chance. Helps out there. If you're someone of Troy's vintage and don't know how to use Instagram, don't bother. Just keep following us on Facebook. Ask questions, yeah. Look, we are doing a giveaway tonight, and I don't know how we're going to do a giveaway without comments, and I still have no idea.
I've got comments up on here on my phone attached, so I can try and help out there.
That's not the giveaway we're doing. That's something else, but I should have removed that one. I didn't. We're doing a $100 Leagues Club voucher giveaway, thanks to Parra Leagues. So obviously it went. I think what did we do last week? We did a jersey last week. No,
Jason did the merch.
Yeah, the Leagues Club had Ex-Visory, yeah, and his merch has been received as well. So thanks, Jason. The week before, I'm pretty sure we did the $150 one, which went off as well, and obviously was given to. I think Peter won that one. So everything's done. Obviously, the Bay Vista giveaways as well. They've been huge. So thanks, Leagues Club. We're going to somehow give this away. Hayden, you're going to somehow give it away. So do your usual thing, guys. Comment, shared, and Hayden will go through and he'll non-biasedly and non-unfavorably. I don't know. That's just a word I made up, I think. Pick a winner later on. So, look, let's move on. Like I said, there's no game to preview. So let's talk about the junior reps. Obviously, it's the business end of the season. I know me and Jack spent some time watching this across the weekend. Start with the on the girls' side of things with Elisa Fiola and the Tasha Gale. I got it right this week, Troy. Tasha Gale. They obviously had wins. Elisa Fiola had a 22-20 win against the Bulldogs. Tasha Gale had an 18-8 win. I just want to highlight this because it's something we called out last year, and I guess I'm pretty quick to admit when I got it wrong. So I'm happy to say I got this wrong, but we asked questions about our NRLW development. Obviously, since 2022, our NRL development went pretty much to, well, NRLW team just didn't go very well after 2022. And what that meant was we didn't see any big name signings or anything for, the next couple of seasons. Looks like the club's obviously heavily invested in the junior pathways for, the women's game. And there's Lisa Fiola, Tasha Gale. They're going to come through. They're going to go in the Harvey Norman in the NRLW in the next couple of years. So an NRLW team, as the competition continues to grow, is going to get bigger. I'll go to you, Troy. Your thoughts on obviously the way the NRLW game's been developed. I had to do it. I'm sorry, Troy. I had to do it. But I know you're a pretty big, you spoke about this quite a lot when it happened. That 2022 grand final team, and I guess the fact that all the girls kind of left to go elsewhere, it left you pretty upset because you do follow the NRLW game quite closely. Your thoughts on obviously, what's happening now with our pathways there?
Yeah, well, it's obviously, I'm trying to look for the word, but it's positive to see these two sides make the grand final, and obviously the pathway system is working in the women's game. And as you mentioned before, they'll be in the NRLW scene in a few years' time. So that is very pleasing to see. I was quite down after 22, wasn't too successful after that, but the signs are good moving forward.
I just realised how terrible that is. Definitely a blown up Troy Warner when he talks. It's bad enough looking at him a little scare. But Michael, I'll go to you. Obviously, you got two young daughters that like to obviously follow the Women's Rugby League as well and see that coming through. Parramatta knocking off, I think, the first place Bulldogs and the second place Bulldogs in that thing. It's always good to get a win over the Bulldogs, but seeing these young teams come through, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think any club growing their women's game is good. It's good to have a club as big as Parramatta back being successful in that regard. It'd be interesting to see how many of those girls make it through to the NRL squad over the next few years. I think it also shows, like say 2022, the NRL squad made the grand final and then, as you said, all exited. It's taken 3 years for them to rebuild the juniors and get something going again. So I guess that sort of also shows potentially how long it could take to sort our juniors out in our males team as well, because they were neglected for quite some time too.
Yeah, good segue. We'll get through that now because the SG Ball, they had a win as well. As we know, they finished the season first undefeated and obviously lost that first game of the finals going down to the Roosters, who they will obviously play in the grand final this weekend as well.
Could be the loss they needed, as some would say.
Well, there's been a lot of teams you see go through undefeated and go out in straight sets, and they weren't that good against Melbourne. They played Melbourne out there at Penrith, Park Street Oval, and I went out to that game, and it was one of those games where they scraped through, and you knew the week later they just had to get back to what they were good at, and that was just sticking to their normal football, not overcomplicating, not thinking about it too much. So many errors when they played Melbourne. And they did that in the weekend, and they absolutely blitzed South Sydney. So, SG Ball, Jack, I know you watched it. You were pretty impressed by it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I was super happy. I was saying to Dad before the game started, after they went undefeated, they lost week 1, barely scraped through Melbourne week 2. I was like, we could be in trouble here. Good old Parramatta falling at the last leg. But nah, Middles completely ran through it. Our number 6, I can't remember his name, but him linking up with the wingers, a couple good tries for Dom in the corner there. We just blitzed him. I was super duper happy with how we played on Sunday.
Yeah, it was huge. Lorenzo,
that's it.
Yeah, I can't say his last name, so I'm not even going to bother. I'm not going to let Troy try either, but it is challenging. I'm going to get it up because I know it's not one I remember. I'm just going to see if they've actually released a team for the grand final this week, and they have. Yeah, Lorenzo Talatena. There you go. He will get the SG Ball Player of the Year, and he's been superb. When you think about it, he's playing with the Australian under-19s halfback with him. And I guess probably 2 of the weekend, because I thought Lincoln actually stood up and had some great moments when he needed to, and he controlled that game perfectly. But Lorenzo has probably outplayed him all year, which is pretty interesting when you think of it that way. Like I said, for him to obviously be the favourite to get the Player of the Year is huge. Talking about our pathways, talking about, I guess, the results of the club as well. Jace, we've actually gone undefeated the last 2 weeks. So the last 2 weeks across all grades, Parramatta are undefeated, which is obviously massive for us. I can't remember the last time that happened, but when we were in the field club of the Tigers, Mark O'Neill come across, good friend of the podcast, Mark O'Neill. Everyone knows how much we love Mark. Great bloke. Never said a bad thing about him. And he come across and he goes, look, there's one thing I'm proud of. It hasn't been a great start of the year. And this is before Parramatta had won. But he said, we've won every single game this weekend so far. What's that mean, Jason, to see a club do that? That's where Penrith's dominance started, didn't it?
Yeah, well, exactly right. It makes us think back to the 2022 Penrith Panthers when they won every single comp in 2022. And if that's the way that our club is going, not to say that we're there yet, but if that's the mentality and if that's the passion and that's the way we're developing our squads and we're looking towards having everyone at the top level playing at their best and everyone playing in the systems and coming through the grades, then that's just amazing. That's amazing for the fans. And it's disappointing that a lot of the fans don't really know much about that sort of stuff. And sometimes I do find it's an obligation for me, or maybe I'm just compelled because I love to tell people information as a lawyer, that I remind them about the plans that the club has about where all the grades are training at Kellyville and everyone's into one spot and all the teams are going to be playing the same systems. So it's a really good sign to see that at least we're getting some good wins. The teams are doing well. SG Ball and is it the Tasha Gale? I can't even say it. In the grand final. That's great for the club. I mean, that's what we want. We want the club to be a powerhouse, and we don't just want a fluky look. I'll take a fluky grand final win. Don't get me wrong. I'll take a fluke premiership, but we don't want that, right? We want our club to be a powerhouse, and these are the starting signs to see that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hayden, your thoughts on that? You take a fluky win for sure. I know that, but your thoughts on obviously that junior development, how we're looking as a club, and like I said, it's obviously something we spoke about a lot last year.
Yeah, we're looking good. I think that 34-4 win, a nice win compared to the other games that were quite close. I think the big thing is to see if players, especially in the NRLW, where players do change a lot in previous years, but we spoke about a lot on the podcast players like Ethan Sanders, who, came from those systems of Parramatta juniors and then actually got their shot at NRL and unfortunately end up leaving the Eels. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens this weekend with those results, and if they are successful in winning their grand final, is that going to make them more valuable and sort of sought out by other clubs?
Yeah, it's a hard one. It's obviously, the easy thing, well, not the easy thing, but it's one job bringing him through, it's another job keeping, and we're seeing Penrith struggle with that now, and I guess part of that was Penrith was so dominant for so long, they essentially stopped bringing their juniors through because they didn't need them. They stuck in reserve grade. We obviously picked up a couple in Hopgood and Nyongi now, and others have gone to other clubs, and now they're at a stage now where I'm not going to say they're in a rebuild, but they essentially are looking at, they've got a lot of inexperienced players in their team. Longy, I'll go to you next. And I think this is about to be the first stitch up of the night, because when you push the Longy button, Jez, Longy's actually not going to be there. But Longy, your thoughts on obviously the Parramatta junior development. Touch on Penrith. I know you obviously follow the fantasy side of things as well, but are we in a similar position to what Penrith were?
I mean, we're early stages, so it's hard to read into, but it does take time to build these things. And you look at the Dogs, you look at Panthers. At the start of these plans, everyone was clowning on them for their 5-year plans and, sort of making fun of them. So I would say there's probably a bit of resilience that comes with that when you're changing a system, you're trying to build a whole club sort of style there. So that's one thing I'd put in. But I think in general, you look at the Panthers right now, and they've had that system for so long, and it's been awesome for them. I think they're now a bit of a victim of that. Like, they're trying to play that same system with different players, and you're seeing sort of Nathan Cleary looking up and expecting guys to be in spots, and they're not in those spots. So probably just I don't really have a point to this. I'm just sort of more observing them. That I know it's kind of something that we're going to have to pay attention to, and maybe play to the strengths of our players as well as playing to a system. So sort of balancing those two things out, because, we were all fans when Stephen Kearney came in and tried to play that certain style that didn't fit our roster. That's just one thing we want to make sure we don't do. And I think Riles is the right guy to steer us in that way.
Yeah, I agree. It's about finding that balance. The balance between obviously bringing those juniors through and having those experienced players there and signing where you need to. Not going off and necessarily signing to try and win a comp, but obviously signing, some good players or some players that may have been juniors you may have let go and may want to bring back, e.g. Lachlan Galvin, and then, bringing them back to your club or into your club, or if he's not a viable option, looking for another 5'8" until that young 5'8" does come through. Let's finish off with that junior rep. So let's briefly bring up the games as well. Obviously this weekend at Leichhardt Oval, I'll be heading down. I'm flying up to Magic Round Friday, back 6 a.m. Saturday, and then straight down now, because I think local footy is going to be washed out, straight down to Leichhardt Oval. Saturday, 3rd of May, Leichhardt Oval. Lisa Fiola kicks off at 10:30. Tarsha Gale, 1:30 p.m. Harold Matts is after that. I know the Knights are playing. I'm not sure who they're actually playing. The Knights are playing someone in the Harold Matts. Some good young players in that Knights team to keep an eye on. And the SG ball kicks off at 3:15. So I'll be there. I know Benny will be there as well. I know Hayden, Troy, Jason, and Jack are all going to be at Magic Round, so they won't be there. Michael's at work. Longy, I don't know what you're doing, but if you're around the area.
Kaylin may be representing me. I'm not sure yet.
I won't be at Magic Round, but I'm working. But
I will be. We're actually doing an event on Saturday with
you're at Magic Round.
Yep, Caxton Street Brewing Co. Saturday from lunchtime. So get down there if you want to meet the best fantasy playing Parramatta fan in the world.
Oh, jeez. Saturday's my birthday as well, just to let you know. So.
Oh, don't. It's going to be
free beers on offer, Troy.
Do not give that guy free beers. He does not need them. All right.
I already promised him one. I can't go back on it now.
Every single if every single person here promises him a free beer, it's going to be a long Friday night for me.
Well,
I'm actually with Troy from
sorry.
8:30 on Friday.
We just had a comment come through, and I just want to confirm because we had a couple of questions about it. Mark asked, are the games being televised on Fox? Just to let you guys know, they'll be available through Bar TV Sports. It doesn't look like they'll be televised, so you can check them out through Bar TV Sports.
It's an interesting one last year, I believe. You can get it through the New South Wales Rugby League Facebook as well. Last year, I believe they showed these for free without paying for them on New South Wales Rugby. I don't know if they're doing that this year or not. I didn't watch last year's. Someone just said they did, but it's like a $5.99 or $6.99 for a 24-hour pass. So you obviously buy that at 10 o'clock. You can watch that. When that finishes, you can go back and you can watch the local Newcastle comp if you really want to. You can watch any sport you want for 24 hours. It's on there. It is a pretty good system when you look at it that way.
The charity match.
Yeah, you can go back and watch. Yeah, you can watch me run over the top of Hayden. It's absolutely perfect. All right, finishing off talking about obviously these junior games because I said once again no NRL game from last week to preview Troy in case you didn't know. And
I know.
we put a video up and it's gone absolutely nuts of DeMarcus and Nemia. Now this Jez is going to play the video for me. This show is taking it off the back fence to a whole new level. How good is this?
3 from 3 from the boot. And Matty Hunter is 2 from 3. As looks like Namia again. Look at these legs pumping. He's busted through the first tackle. He's into the backfield. Uses his fend. He's now up to the fullback. Smith makes a legs tackle. Gets bumped off. What a run.
Longy, mate, what's that worth? Fantasy super coach. Give me some stats on that. There's some post-contact meters there after the initial contact where he just bumped them off.
Yeah, so you're getting a point every 10 meters there. You're getting tackle breaks as well. It's 2 each. The line break too, so that's 4 points for that. So he's stacking up double digits points there. You want a few more offloads from him. They're +4 each, but he's a guy to watch for the future, 100%.
Just so an offload as he's off the back fence, 20 meters in front of everyone. You go just throw an offload back 10 meters. But
chuck it out there, yeah.
Everyone's asking about him. He's a good young kid. He actually, after he posted that video, followed the page, sent me a message saying thanks for support and stuff. So good young kid, and look, can't wait to watch him obviously do that. Everyone's Parra fans, we get excited when we see a young one come through that can do something like that. Everyone's going.
Do we know how old he is?
I believe he's 21, 22. He's in Jersey Flag still, so it's under 21s. I think they can have a couple of overage players. I don't know much about him. I know he come down from Queensland. Was a promising junior from Queensland. They brought down, and yeah, I don't know much about his contract. Mate, everyone's got him in first grade next week, and he's 21 playing Jersey Flag. So Parra fans, we do get very excited, but also there's a bit of a process get him in a cup. But here's one there's watching. There's a couple of really good young kids in that Jersey Flag team, and obviously when the SG ball finishes, there's going to be some more young kids push up into that team and be pushing for a position because they're going to keep playing footy. If not, they go back to their junior clubs. And yeah, that Jersey Flag team, well, they're going to push some players up into cup as well. They're a smoky to obviously win that comp as our New South Wales Cup is as well, who won 50-20 on the weekend. So sitting pretty well. All right, we're going to bring this back. We're going to go to a bit of trivia. We haven't done trivia for quite a while. Ooh. Now, Troy has been trying to cheat.
I have not.
Yeah, so yeah, that Troy. Yep. That Troy.
Number one Spotify hit there.
Soon. Troy's been trying to cheat. And he's actually done some research after he came in and asked me what the trivia was about. Then he went off and did some research. So Troy, unfortunately, you're disqualified from trivia tonight. If no one else buzzes in with the answer, I'll let you come in. Now, everyone is worth 1 point. Jez, I don't know if you've got a pen and paper there, but if you can try and keep a tally because we do want to declare a winner or something. All right. So buzz in with your name. I'll hear what I can and I'll come to you. All right. They're all Magic Round based, by the way. Parramatta. What was the score in Parra's first ever Magic Round game?
Hayden.
Yes, Hayden.
64 points to 10.
There's 1 point for Hayden. Congratulations, Hayden. You're off to a flyer. All right. Who scored Parramatta's first ever try at Magic Round?
Hayden.
Yes. Is anyone else playing? Yes, Hayden.
Blake Ferguson.
Incorrect.
That was a
Anyone
board.
Anyone else want to buzz in? Yep.
Was it Reed Marnie?
Negative.
Longy. I'll go King Gutho.
Negative. So three
Anyone
people
else
there.
want to go? Anyone else
Troy,
want to go?
Troy, could you message me who it
I'm
was?
trying to remember. I was at the game. I'm trying to remember.
Can
Alright,
I
I'm
have a second go, or is it one go?
I'm going to open it to Troy first. Troy, you got anything?
Brad Takarangi.
Incorrect. Who wants a second go? Come on, we've got to get through this.
Micah Sevo, maybe?
He did score in that game, but he did not score the first
What,
try.
what
All
year
right.
was it? What year
This is
was it? Give us a clue.
2019.
2019.
The player. I'll say this-
Was it Manu Mo?
No. Fuck, we've pretty much nailed every player. All right, I'm going to give you a clue. Just listen up for the clue. All right. The player is currently still part of our roster, and I say he's currently part of our roster, but not playing.
Sean Lane.
People have it in the comments. Yeah, people have it in the comments.
Jack. Yep. Jack.
Was it Sean Lane?
Oh, Jack. Here we go. We fucking got there
Wow.
eventually. Give Jack a point.
I knew it was a forward.
Are you sure that's a whole point for that?
It was the only game. It's the only Magic round I haven't been to.
Mate,
Good call.
I have nightmares about that Magic
Oh,
round
it's the
still.
worst.
All right, I've got a few more questions to get through. I didn't expect that one to take that long. All right. Who has played in all Parramatta's Magic round games, not
Jason.
including this week? Yep.
Gutho.
2 players.
Gutho?
Jack.
Hang on. Jason's still answering, Jack. Shut the fuck
Oh,
up.
sorry.
Jason.
Yeah, is Gutho one of them?
No.
Hayden. Ryan Madison.
No.
Longy.
You've only got to get one. Yep, Longy.
Junior Paulo.
That is one. Yep.
Bang.
There's still one more available. That's 1 point to Longy. Longy, if you can get the
That's
second
fine.
one, if you can get the second one, I'll give you 3 points.
Will Penasini. No,
No.
he's too young. No,
Ha-
can I take that
Hayden?
back?
Regan Campbell Gillard.
No. Troy,
Not 2019.
you can come in, Troy.
It's probably
Like
Lane
that.
again.
Jason, would you like to lock that in?
Yeah, I'll lock it in.
Yeah, Jason, it's Sean Lane. So Lane is all up again. All right, that's 1 point there. Fuck, this is taking a long time. All right. Sin bins are obviously a pretty popular theme at the moment. How many sin bins have Parramatta had at Magic Round across the first, 2019,
One.
5 years? Incorrect.
Jack.
Hayden.
I think I heard Jack first. Sorry, Hayden. Yep.
Welcome, man.
I think it's 2.
I think you're incorrect.
It's
Uh,
3.
Can you say your name? Someone say their name and then have a guess of that.
Hayden.
Longy. Yep, I heard Longy first.
I'm going to go 3.
Longy, you are correct. It is 3. Well, another point for Longy. I'll give you a chance of a bonus point. Can you name 2 out of the 3?
Jason.
Sin
Hey,
Gutho.
his bonus point, Jason. You can't
Gutho?
cut in yet. Just hang on. Stop giving him the clues. It's still his bonus point.
All right,
Ah.
I'm going to go Gutho.
Yeah, that's one.
Sorry.
Can you name one more?
I didn't hear it was bonus
I'll-
point.
I'll take a sin bin. Real professional foul. I'll go Reed.
Incorrect. All right, Jace,
Oh.
what do you got? Gutho and who?
Sivo.
Correct. That's a point.
Oh.
We'll give him a point.
Was Nathan Brown the other one?
Was
Michael's gone. He's just gone.
Sivo
again.
for an elbow or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
he
stupid.
He took
Yeah.
out Jerome Hughes and pretty much made Ryan Pappenhausen's career.
Yeah.
Turned Hughes from a fullback to a halfback in one game. Took
Yeah,
his head off.
Paul Butty Lewick says Hayden has been robbed.
That's all right.
So-
Hey,
Or Bucky.
I think I'm going to ask
Talk about-
I'm going to ask Bunker Jeremy to interfere with that one, since the bunker can interfere with what happened 5 minutes ago.
No more. That wasn't a significant foul play. So play
yeah,
on.
and also it was past 10 seconds. You can't use your captain.
And also, Andrew Abdo confirmed it last night. That's not going to happen anymore. So
Well, how about him throwing them under the bus, though? Brutal.
Yeah, 100%. All right, we've got 2 more questions. All right.
It happened too soon, so it didn't happen 10 plays ago, so I can't rule on it. It happened too soon, so give it some time, and I'll chime back in.
Yeah, the bunker. apparently.
The bunker.
All right. How many points have Parramatta scored at Magic Round? Everyone gets a crack here. Closest to Troy's going last.
Longy.
No, you
I'll
can
go 88.
Jack, your guess?
I'm going to go 94.
Jace,
64.
Hayden,
78.
Troy.
124.
What did you say, Longy?
Oh,
88.
Yeah, it was 108. What did you say, Jack?
94.
Yeah, so Jack's the closest. Jack gets the point there. All right, final question. I don't know where we're up for an update, but Jez messaged me the winner or something. Who has scored the most tries at Magic Round for Parramatta?
Parra?
Longy. Sivo.
I actually heard Hayden first that time. I'm not going to scream over this
I'll give
time.
my answer if you want.
Former Parramatta Eel, Mike Acevo.
All right, bonus point. How many has he scored?
5 tries.
Longy, you got a bonus point there?
4.
How's he get the bonus point? Jason didn't
try.
get it.
Because he come in the same time as you. Anyone else want to quickly guess how much Sivo scored? Shout it out for a point.
6.
4.
Correct, Jason. It was 6. 6 tries. Thank fuck that's over. That took fucking ages. I did not think it was going to take that long.
I think
Michael
I
was
forgot
not
about us playing the Titans. That game is just out of my head. Every other game, I can remember.
That was the worst. We lost 22-20. It was a fucking joke.
That sucked. I was sidelined row 1 for that game, and I hated it.
We had to do
I
something.
forget our losses, so I don't remember many games. But
Congratulations, Jason.
Who won, Jason?
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff, Jason. See,
nice one.
to keep the sponsors happy, you make them win the rig trivia. I actually
Yes.
messaged him the answers earlier.
Some Riverside Brewing
all
Company
right.
beer coming your way.
All right.
Nige Brown said Sivo scored 12 tries. That's a bit too many.
Who said that?
Nige Brown.
No, you're wrong, mate. He didn't score 12 tries. In 5 games.
Oh, yeah,
4
that's right.
games.
26,
Mark Egan says, not a good segment, boys. Put it in the bin.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We had to do
I
something
agree.
to fill in time. We had to do something to fill in time, and we did. All right, let's move on to this week's game then. The team list for this week, and there's not really any major changes besides the one force change. Michael, you're negative about the trivia, and you haven't read out the team lists before, so take it away.
Crap. Number drop that on me. Number 1, Isaiah Iongi. Number 2, Bailey Simonson, not Simonson, as Adam would say. Number 3, Will Penis in Eye. Number 4, Sean Russell. Number 5, Josh Addo-Carr. Number 6, Dylan, please go to Newcastle Brown. Number 7, Mitch Moses. Number 8, Jack Williams. Number 9, Riley Smith, who is my new man crush. He has beautiful eyes. Number 10, Junior Paulo. Number 11, Charlie Geimer, replacing Kelma Tuolangi, who's suspended. Then you've got Kit Kat in number 12. 13 is Jermaine Hopgood, who I would just love to see go out and kill someone this weekend. I haven't seen him with that aggression for a while, so that'd be good. 14, Dylan Walker, who's been fantastic since coming over. 15, Luca Moretti, who are also quite good in the last game he played. And you've got 16, Matt Dury. I saw someone question why he's there over Madison today. I think the fact that Madison hasn't done anything on a footy field for the last 3 years explains that. And number 17, Sam Tuivasa, who I think we need to start getting a Tui chant every time he takes a hit up at Combank going.
I said that the other day. I said that the other day in a group chat. Didn't I? Hayden Troy will back me up on that.
He's a
And it's
beast.
I had a group chat with guy. I said, I think I say in the podcast last week.
Yeah,
You did, I remember.
Yeah.
I feel
Hero.
like a twee.
You don't You're right. We had the original tour with Mark Tukey, which turned into Fui. It's time to bring it for Tuivasa. We're going to start that at Magic Round this weekend, boys. Every time he runs that ball, not you,
Okay,
Hayden, you won't be
let's
there.
do it.
We're going to try and get the
Done.
Tui because Magic Round's the kind of shit that, like, it's the weekend that makes shit happen. Like, it doesn't matter
Anything
what
will
it is.
stick at Magic Round.
Anything will stick, including
Let's
people's
do
feet
it.
in the urinal, like because people just don't know how to aim at Magic Round. So it's honestly going to be one of those weekends where we can just make that happen every time he runs the ball. Someone just commented Tuivasa party.
I was about to say I like that one. Tuivasa party.
I think
Similar to Cardi Party.
No.
Party doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I know it
What,
doesn't, but
And Tui's not the same as Fui? Like,
Yeah.
I know.
it is. yeah, but Philly was
Lighten
the
up,
same as
Troy.
Mark Tukey.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, look, let's go to our bold predictions. And then we're going to try and draw a comp winner, and then we're going to get the final questions in. Don't ask your final questions yet because I'm going to have to try and bring them up via the comments. So please don't ask them yet. Bold predictions.
I've got them at the moment.
Sick. Bold predictions this week. I don't know what happened. I think what happened is Jez pushed live, but it didn't go live on my end. So I pushed live. I think we both went live at the same time, and Facebook just went, fuck you guys. I'm not going live. I'm going live, but you're having a very simplified version of me. It's like having Troy on the podcast. We've got to simplify things. So, all right, bold predictions. Troy, we'll start with you. What do you got?
Okay, well, I think it's going to be a close contest. I think it's going to be Parramatta 24-20. Mitchell Moses' kicking game is obviously key. My first try scorer, look, I've given him away lately because he hasn't scored the first try. So I'm not going Will. I'm going to go Josh Addo-Carr out in that edge. And look, a bold prediction, I am going to say Isaiah Iongi to score a length of the field try from a kick return.
Cool. Jez, I forgot to tell you, if you got a pen and paper, it's kind of your job to write these down to sound to me. So 24-20, Isaiah Iongi length of the field try. Who was your first try scorer, Troy?
Josh Addo-Carr.
Josh Addo-Carr, yeah. Give me a thumbs up if you're good, and then I'll give you mine because I'm going to go next because it gets too confusing. I'm not worried about Cronulla. Famous last words. I've had some wonderful experiences at Magic Round. Every year I've been there, besides one, I've watched Parramatta get their absolute pants pulled down and embarrassed. And I still have nightmares about that 2019 one. But I will say, I think Cronulla have been very inconsistent, very up and down. They're obviously pretty ordinary against the Tigers on the weekend. The Tigers' online defense was incredible. But Cronulla I just don't think they found that balance yet. And I don't think they will one. Nico and Trindle are both there. I don't know what it is. They just can't seem to find it. So I'm going to go Parramatta to win this game 30-10. It's Parramatta by 20 plus for those playing at home. My first try scorer, I'm going to say Dylan Brown. I think he's due across the line first again, Dylan Brown. And you saw how much more relaxed he was last week, obviously playing with Mitchell Moses there. Well, not last week, the week before. My bold prediction is for the Parramatta halves to double the stats of the Cronulla halves. So that'd be kick meters, run meters, runs. Tackles. No, I'm going attacking.
Attacking
We're going
stats, like try
attacking
assists,
stats,
tries,
yeah.
all that.
Yeah, try assist, tries, yep. So it's a double. It's pretty big. That's a bold prediction.
It's very
I'm happy
bold.
with it though. I've just called out Cronulla's halves. Longy?
Yeah. No, I'm thinking a similar line to you there. I'm going to go Parramatta to win by a very strange scoreline, 21-18. We go ahead by a field goal, and then we kick a random penalty goal at the end, and I think that's pretty bold by itself. First try scorer, I'll jump on Mitch Moses here. I think last week we saw him pulling the strings, and I think teams are going to sort of fade off him a bit, look for the pass, look for the kick. They're going to forget his running game, and he's going to remind them of that. And my bold prediction is the 2 tries for Mitch Moses. I just think we saw last time that sort of assist orchestrator style play. This time we're going to see him running, and I think he's going to tear the Sharks apart.
Everyone fucking moved. Michael, you're next.
I'm going to take Troy's first try scorer, seeing as though he didn't.
He'll probably score now.
That's me.
Yeah, I'll go Will Penasini, first try scorer. Score, I'm going to go, I think we're actually going to win as well. I'm going to think we're going to win 26-10. And a bold prediction, I'm going to go Mitch Moses to get 4 line breaks, like line break assists, but 2 of them are going to be Matt Dury straight through a hole he creates.
Jeremy's just shaking his head at you trying to write that down. He's like,
Off the bench.
So I get to do that because I have a correct bold prediction so far, and that puts me on 1,000 points, and Adam keeps refusing to acknowledge it.
What was it again? I can't remember what it was.
Gutho to score a double in the Dragons Eels game.
It's not worth 1,000 points. I got 1,000. Well, I got 1,000 points for Mitchell Moses' 4 try assists then. So I'm on 1,000 points as well.
It's correct. It's correct.
These are all wrong. I've got about 5,000 points, but you won't give them to me.
I don't know how you got 5,000 points.
Any bold prediction is worth 1,000. You accepted it as a bold prediction. Jace, my lawyer, we will see you in court.
Done.
Yeah. All right, Jason. Speaking of that, who you got?
Mind you, I think I've got a conflict of interest, but I think Jack Williams up against his old side. I think he really revs up for this one and really takes it seriously. So I've got him as first try scorer. Again, there's going to be lots of points scored. It looks like Sharks' defense is lacking. Our defense is still getting used to it. We still let in 3 or 4 tries. So I'm going to say that we win 26-20. And my bold prediction is that Jack Williams will run for more than 200 meters.
Oof. That's huge. I'll take it. Speaking of Jacks, Jack, what do you got?
I've got Parramatta 32-20. I believe that was pretty close to the scoreline last time we versed them. I'm going to go Kitione Kortoga as the first try scorer.
You just call him Kit Kat. We know what
I've got a poster ready for him as well for Friday. Sharks have been leaking points on their left-hand side. I'm going to go nice little grubber from Dill Brown. Kit Kat jumps it, scores a try. Poll prediction. I've kind of going on the same wavelength as Jace. I think Jack Williams is going to absolutely fire up. I'm going to go Jack Williams man of the match and to outdo Fanua Blake in every stat, including a try.
Mm. Now, one more question for you. Over under, how many punches are you going to land on your brother? 3 or more?
I'll only take 2 before he'll be on the ground, so I'll take the under.
Yeah, my brother's a bit of a weakling as well, so I get that.
I'll put you in the fucking ground.
It'll take 2 to go. It'll take 2 for the whole Sharks fan base.
My lawyer, that was a threat on air. Can you? Thank you. All right, corporate Kane, and by that I mean Hayden sitting there looking corporate in his little button up. What do you got, Hayden?
Look, I won't be there. I won't be there at Magic Round, but I'm hopeful for a win. We had a good win last week, and we have had the bye. The Sharks are coming off a loss to the Tigers, and you know what? If I get this wrong, I'll sit out the podcast next week and take a suspension. But I'm going to tip the Sharks here, boys. I think this is a danger game. I think we had a good win at home, and I think there's a lot to like about the Parramatta lineup this week. But something about
We don't need that negativity around here. Sorry, Hayden. Sorry.
Again.
I lost it because I was trying to get the comments up as well. But what I was going to say is I think Magic Round is sort of becoming that Darwin where we started off really good and we've dropped off. So I think it'd be a really close game, but I'm actually going to go the Sharks 20-14. First try scorer, Samuel Soanstreet. But bold prediction does come from the Eels. I'll say Sean Russell gets a try and a try assist in this game.
If you hate Parramatta, just tell us.
Yeah.
we did see you in a Knights jersey.
Yeah.
I think I just have a big ego for tipping. So, look, if I'm wrong, I'll sit it out next week. I'll sit from the comments, unfortunately.
You don't
get to decide that.
Yeah, no, we rest you when we want to rest you, all right? It's like the Australian cricket team. We rotate whenever we want to rotate. All right, Hayden, as your final job before you get fired from the podcast next week, can you please pick a winner? Guys, if you commented and shared, Hayden's going to try and go through. Comment, shared again. We'll give him a couple of minutes because he needs it. If you share this podcast, Hayden will go through, pick a winner, just do a random finger thing or something because obviously we can't get the comments for a $100 Leagues Club voucher. You'll have to get off me and obviously use that Parramatta Leagues Club. Pretty much, if you win it, you can buy everyone a beer before one of the games besides the person who tipped against the team. I think that's pretty fair. And besides Troy, doesn't need it. So if you comment and share, just let us know. He's starting to get angry. He wants to throw something at you. Like, he does.
I'm just waiting for some Riverside Brewing Company beers to come my way, you know, after that great promotion during my Flame Trees karaoke song.
Yeah, well, I've got some sitting here, but, you know, I'm just trying not to encourage you. All right, Hayden, who's your winner?
Well, I've been through the comments. It's Troy's birthday this weekend. It's also my dad's birthday on game day. So in you know, a bit of Paul, my father, we're going to pick our winner tonight as Paul Coulson. He's got a bit of a mullet going on in the profile. Paul Coulson is tonight's winner.
Paul, message the page. I thought you were going to pick out your father. I was like, remember I said don't pick someone you know or show some favoritism? And you,
no
yeah.
way.
All All right. Get your final questions in. Paul, message the page, and we'll sort that out for you. Final questions, fire anything else. We won't be able to put them up on the screen. I'll read them out to everyone. There is going to be about a 15 to 20-second delay, but we'll make it work.
We've got him. We've got him. Paul's here. He says woot. I don't know if that's a word in the English dictionary, but three likes, 4 likes. Everyone knows who he is now.
So you're having a dig at our winner. That's very nice of you, Hayden. Jeez.
Oh no! I chose Paul. So congratulations to Paul. But I haven't heard the word woot before.
So is that the new precedent? We're going to start correcting everyone's grammar, spelling, and whether or not their words are correctly used.
Yeah,
Here we go.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I can sit in all bloody day, bro. If you want.
That's a common saying used on Hawkesbury River Radio. That's where Paul got it from, I believe. Woot.
We've got our first question.
Do we?
It says Moses for Origin or misses out.
He's definitely in for Origin.
Well,
He's playing.
I don't know.
yeah, there's been a couple of things come out this week where they're saying they're not going to pick him, but then the way he played in that first game back, that'd be pretty crazy not to. I'm holding off on ordering Lucas's jersey, trying to work out if it's going to have the 7 or the 6 back on it. So,
If he plays, it'll be 6.
Yeah,
We've got
I'll take this one from Ahmed Alameddin.
Good question.
Is this the end of hands? Riley Smith looks locked in. The new hooker looks great in New South Wales Cup, and Hands has done his PCL. Yeah, look, I was devastated when I heard Hands hurt himself, but I also saw him on Instagram riding around on his bike with his missus. So I don't know how badly he's done his knee, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he did have a thing on it, like a cover on it.
Yeah, I know, but look, this is very disappointing news. Honestly, he works really well with Mitch as well, especially in attack. But look, Riley Smith is the future of the club. He's an absolute little gun, and it just seems like with Dylan Walker playing at 14 at the moment as well, there's no real spot for Hands at the moment. So it's very disappointing. I hope he gets a good recovery, and I hope he comes back strong. Wish him all the best. But yeah, it looks like for the moment, Riley Smith is definitely the number 1 pick.
And
Are you okay, Jason?
I'm okay. I told you my new man crush is Joash. So
Yeah.
Look, we know that. Yeah, you love him. Look, what I will say as well is Lachlan Kanakis is coming through as well. Is someone the club rates very highly. He'll finish SG ball on the weekend, whether they win or lose. He'll go on a jersey flag, and you'll see him push pretty quickly through the grades. I think he'd get a preseason under his belt. He's going to be pushing Riley Smith as well. It's obviously a great situation to be in. We know we can't keep them all, but we haven't had this kind of pressure coming through in our depth for quite a few years. So to have those players coming through and, if Brendan Hands turns around and gets back on the field in New South Wales Cup and plays 5 minutes of the match performances and Riley starts to fall off, and Riley played 80 minutes for the first time against the Tigers. He missed 7 tackles. I know we love Riley and I love him as well, but he starts missing 7 tackles every game and Brendan Hands is making 98%, 99% playing 80 New South Wales Cup. He could take his spot back. That's on Brendan to try and prove that. But I personally believe it won't happen. There's a good question here. I'm not going to let anyone else answer it. I heard a rumor Junior has stress fractures in his feet, and this will be his last season. There's my question. What do you think? I'm not going to answer it. Jason, you're nodding your head. What do you know?
Just heard it on the grapevine.
Yeah, look. I have heard that Junior... what I will say is if Junior is retiring, the club's going to have a lot of cash to spend in our search for a new senior front rower. Obviously, with Offengowie gone, we've got some good young players coming through, but we do need to find that senior player if Junior is to retire at the end of the year. We've got a couple more. Are the dogs sniffing around Longy, and when is he off contract? Longy, when are you off contract? The dog sniffing around.
Off contract as a podcaster? Or?
I'm still looking for a new contract.
We'll be searching for a while. I think they meant Iongi, obviously, but it come through as Longy, and I couldn't help myself but ask you. There was a thing it was a crap article, someone saying that he'd be the perfect player for them to target because they missed out in Pappenhausen. Yeah. Anyone else want to go to any other questions? Michael, you seem like you found one.
Yeah.
Just on Yongi, by the way, quickly, Selwyn Cobbo's up as a fullback, I think, off contract. So I reckon he won't be poached. I think people are going after Cobbo.
Yeah, that's a fair shout.
Travis Richardson, and also there was someone else asked about Joash. Where do we fit him into first grade if he keeps playing like he is? For me personally, I'd have him playing 6 now because we may not end up with Galvin, which means we won't have a 6 next year. So that's where I would have him as soon as possible. I'd have Dylan Brown playing reserve grade. Other than that, I don't know where else we put him in the current lineup because we've got Walker on the bench at 14. Iongi's playing really well at fullback. And with Lomax back, you've got our 2 wingers and 2 centres. So I don't really know where else he can go other than the 6.
Yeah, I agree with you. And when he played 6 for Cup, he actually went missing a bit and was sort of lost. And then he went straight back to fullback. And then, as we all know, we've said a few times, he's been training captain's runs with the boys at the other side fullback. So he just seems to be, first of all, he's very young. He knows that. He's accepting of the fact that his time will come, and his time will come when he's ready and when the time comes. So I've had that chat with him because I've asked him every week, when you debuting, bro? What's the goss? He's like, oh, good, man. Plenty of time. So, but at the same time, I think he's either putting pressure on Iongi or just waiting for that chance to come in at anywhere. Dylan Walker gets injured. Riley Smith gets injured. Something happens with Dylan Brown. Something happens with Iongi. He's probably going to be our first pick to come in somewhere in the spine. So, look, he's waiting in the wings and he's killing it in Cup.
You said the spine, but I don't think he'll come in and play 13, will he, Hayden? We know how much Hayden hates it. 13 isn't part of it. It's part of the modern day spine.
I don't think
he's not playing 6 in New South Wales Cup, by the way. He's playing fullback.
No. But he had one game. He had a game there. And it was terrible.
Yeah, I thought I was under the impression he was, and I guess in the back of my mind, I keep thinking, there's talk of Galvin and whatever, but that may not happen. If Gus Gould wants him, Gus Gould really misses what he gets. Something else could go down. Like if we don't have a 6 for next year, that's a big hole to fill, and we need to start looking at that now. That's my concern.
Yeah. Volkman's playing 6 in Cup. And
killed it on the weekend as well.
Yeah, he's playing well.
He's the 5'8". He's not a halfback. He is a halfback. He's a New Zealand halfback, as I said. He's an Australian 5'8". You don't know what he could do outside Mitchell Moses. He's obviously going pretty well down there, and Dean Hawkins is there as well. And, there's some other young players starting to push through, obviously, from Jersey Flegg as well, when you look at that as well. If you bring up the Jersey Flegg team, which I'm bringing up now, and you look through their team, there's players that have experience in Cup, and I can't find him. Of course, I can't find him. Oh, fuck, what's his name? Teamy, whatever. The one, Twindle. He has obviously... I think he's more chance of being in the future when it comes to young 5'8s and giving someone a chance. But I agree with Michael about Dylan Brown and the future. But we saw how well Dylan Brown played with Mitchell Moses the other day, and there's a genuine chance we can win our next 5 games when you look at it.
Do you honestly think we're going to win the comp this year?
No.
Right. So we're wasting our time.
The aim was
we're
never to win
wasting our time.
Was it?
No. Yeah, but we're wasting our time.
Why not give it a good shot then? Why not
hang on.
Dylan Brown and give it a good crack?
If this year is about developing and bringing in young players and looking at our next genuine crack, which is next year or the year after, then Dylan Brown won't be there. So why waste our time anymore with him? We need to find an answer.
Why not worry about the man?
You can't tear it all down. Like you need some...
Changing one position isn't tearing it all down.
Hear me out. You need a tree to build the branches on, right? So our core, part of our spine, we've got a new hooker, a new fullback. Keep the halves that we've had forever and just keep that constant and hopefully be a team that contends for the 8. And when we bring young guys in, they're going to be in that system that's relatively competent as opposed to, I don't know, if we tear it all down. I get what you're saying, by the way. What you're saying isn't crazy, but you have to keep certain parts of it in place so that we're not a total schmozzle and just getting guys used to losing. Like we want to try to play good footy and then bring those guys in around some experienced guys.
And I get what you're saying about the core as well, but I guess for me, your core is your 7 and your 6. And our 6 ain't going to be there next year. So half our tree's already gone.
I'll ask everyone this question to finalise this. All right? I'll go around one by one. Do you think Parramatta can make the 8, Troy?
Yes.
Michael?
No, never did this year.
Longy?
100%. We lose basically no one to Origin. except I guess Moses will probably make it. But,
And
yeah,
Lomax.
no, I'm losing it now. Maybe not. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to delusionally say yes, but it's going to be
The
tough.
player was sucked without for the first 6
Yeah.
weeks. Jace?
Yeah, I reckon we come 8th. We scrape in. We come 8th.
Jack?
Yeah, for sure. There's only 2 points between us and the 8 at the moment, so we've got a pretty good run coming in. And barring injury, I don't see a reason why we can't go on a bit of a run and sneak in.
Hayden?
I think we can actually. Look, I think there's a few games there. If we do drop it, it just stops our chances. But at the moment, I'd probably say yes because it's so close competition at the moment, and we're not at the bottom anymore.
And look, we had a really hard start to the year. Like looking at everyone we've lost to, they're absolutely killing it. Like reversing 3 of our games were against top 4 teams this year. We got one back against the Tigers. We've got a bit of a better run coming into the middle of the season. With Origin, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's a long year. And that's, I guess, as Parramatta fans, the thing we've been starved of the last. I don't think we can generally win. I don't think we can win the comp. I'm not saying we can win the comp. But if we get to finals this year, after finishing in a spoon bowl last year, it's massive for us. It's massive for our rebuild. You look at the Bulldogs rebuild when they had a rebuild with their new coach coming in, Seraldo, and they won 3 games. We're seeing it 2 wins already. So, to go better than that, and yes, we didn't get the spoon like they did the year before, but if we can make the finals, it puts us in for and Michael could be right, having Dylan Brown go, making it with him and having someone else come in, but I guess it depends on the caliber of player we bring in. And that player you're talking about, Dylan Brown, he was shithouse without Mitchell Moses. So the question needs to be asked. It doesn't matter who comes in. If they're next to Mitchell Moses and Mitchell Moses stays on the field, Parramatta's premiership window may be open if they bring someone decent in with some of the young players coming through.
I'm telling you right now, there will be lots of teams looking at Moses and us with Moses in the team saying, I hope to God they don't fucking make the 8. Because it doesn't matter if we can't win the comp or it's not likely. Us with Moses is a completely different beast, and teams are scared.
Yeah,
2009.
Just to be clear too, I'm not saying that out of spite. Like I love Dylan Brown. I just think, like on form alone, he probably would have been dropped at another club, or if we had a player to fill in for him. I just look into the future and where we genuinely thought our next shot was. I think we should be looking at that a bit more closely. So it's not out of spite either. Don't get me wrong in that regard.
We'll finish with this. Thank you to the fans for making this happen. Obviously, we started a little bit of a social media thing. It only took 3 days, and it was a great achievement. We managed to get the Parramatta Eels to follow us on social media, and everyone goes, I just got a phone call from someone in the club. They said, why does that matter to you? Like, why does it matter if they follow you? I said, it fucking does. Like, acknowledge it. And they did. They acknowledged us.
Yeah.
You actually said it.
I acknowledge you, my tribal chief.
And look how quick it took you to take that photo too. 14 seconds.
I got the notification. It went like, Parra Eels liked your photo. Parra Eels commented on your photo. I was like, Parra Eels followed, like, acknowledge me. And it happened. It was a glorious moment. All right. That's all we've got time for this week. Like I said, we'll be up at Magic Round. Me and Troy will be to the next part is me and Jason. That was Jeremy.
God.
That wasn't me. But if you see Troy on Friday, let's keep him away from a karaoke bar first of all. But no, we will be up there. Long you'll be there, as we know now. Jace will be there as well. We'll be at the Parramatta members event before, so come and say hello if you see us there. If you see us out and about, if anyone has a spare bed, preferably with no one in it. If anyone has a spare bed, let me know because I haven't booked accommodation. I'm planning on pulling an all-nighter because as I said,
Just sleep at the airport.
I'm flying at 7:15. I fly out at 6 o'clock. It wasn't worth the $500 for a room. Jason's offered me his bed. No, he's offered me his lounge, but I know if I end up in a hotel room with Jason, I'm going to end up snuggling with him for sure. I won't be able to help myself.
Go and stay at Chris's brother's. I'll tee it up for you.
Yeah, but it's too far out, isn't it? Like I thought about that. We can discuss this off air. We don't need to discuss this now. Thanks, guys. See you next Tuesday.
Go, Parra.